it? Will I take it?
Yeah.
Or it'd be last online, or I wouldn't take it at all, whatever's best for the country.
All right, let's go, guys.
Thanks. No, I wouldn't say that at all. You see what it does, especially for people over a certain age and people that have an infirmity. If you have diabetes, if you have a bad heart, if you have a certain problem, it just, Myron, it just goes after you. It's vicious.
Right.
And we're saying that people that are over 60, 65, but over 60, we're even saying, sort of stay back for a while. We recommend you staying back for a while. At the same time, with young children and children, we'd like to see the schools open early next season and on time. It's incredible how it's very unique how the children aren't affected, but people that have problems and older people can be very badly hurt, injured, or die from
Cosmic Truths has arrived at. And in there is their enthusiasm, their excitement. You end up liking their subject even if you didn't care about their subject because they brought enthusiasm to it. Curmudgeon or anything, or just tall. I got one, you ready? Now, you know, I don't curmudgeon or anything. You don't see the curvature of the earth. You just don't. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. So we can draw that far back and say we are family. Knowledge that searchers of cosmic truths have arrived at. And in there is their enthusiasm, their excitement. You end up liking their subject even if you didn't care about their subject because they brought enthusiasm to it. Curmudgeon or anything, or just tall. I got one, you ready? Now, you know, I don't curmudgeon or anything. You don't see the curvature of the earth. You just don't. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. So we could draw it that far back and say we are family.
Is why would they lie about us living on a ball and when we really live on a flat earth? And it's very simple. It's about disproving the Bible. Everything about science is the exact opposite of what the Bible states. Now again, taking a look at the flat earth model, this is from the Bible, 100% biblical. First off, it states in the Bible how there's waters above and the waters below, and how the earth is immovable, it's fixed, and how the earth has foundations, how the earth has ends to it, mentioned 50 times. The sun and the moon are within the firmament, and this is why NASA cannot get past into outer space, the so-called Van Allen belts. So when I make the videos on the space shuttles being nothing more than airplanes, you'll understand they cannot get past the firmament, period. They call it the Van Allen belts, but in reality it's the firmament. And like I've covered many times in previous videos, with space shuttles being nothing more than airplanes, according to NASA, space shuttles are nothing more than gliders during supposed re-entry. I'm going to show this clip, 100% proof. These are nothing but airplanes. They're jet powered, not coming in for supposed glide-in landing like NASA states. And there's a reason they have chaser planes escort them in. They're simply used to disguise the fact that these supposed space shuttles have engines. And just take a look at this landing. You can clearly hear and see that this supposed space shuttle is acting nothing like a glider. First off, those wings are too small to be of that of a glider. Take a look and take a listen to those jet engines.
There's a shuttle. Touchdown.
And as you can clearly see from this still, here's one of the two jet engines. And when it comes to meteorites They're nothing more than falling stars. So everything we're given is false explanations to cover up the lies. And here's a demonstration how those that own and control this world from the very start try to disprove God and the Bible. Just take a look how everything with evolution is the exact opposite of the Bible. Where it states here in the Bible, earth before sun, and evolution states sun before earth, oceans before land, land before oceans, fish before insects, insects before fish. Man was created from solid matter. In evolution states man evolved from liquid. Birds before reptiles, reptiles before birds. There is eternity. There is no eternity. There is a soul. There is no soul. So you see how evolution is the exact opposite of the Bible. Now I'm going to demonstrate how this is satanic. I'm taking a look at the law of reversal by Aleister Crowley. It goes back further to Eliphas Levi. Aleister Crowley's Book of Magic. Let him train himself to think backwards by external means as set forth here following. Let him learn to write backwards, walk backwards, listen to phonographic records backwards, practice speaking backwards, read backwards. So this is the law of reversal. Satanists even say the Lord's Prayer backwards. So again, this is why everything is the reverse of what the Bible states. And the point of teaching everything the exact opposite is when you're told one thing, say it's A, and when the reality is Z, it's too far to go from A to Z. The mind can't handle it, and that's why so many reject truth. There are many Bible believers that have fallen for the satanic system that the so-called elite have created. The school systems, the textbooks, the History Channel, believing we live on a ball earth. Now let's read from Isaiah 40:22, where it states, referring to God, "It is He who sits above the circle of the earth." Now taking a look at this, nothing more than a composite provided by NASA. Does this look like a circle to you or a sphere? And remember, the word sphere existed in biblical times. Take a look at this basketball. Would you call this a circle or a sphere? Same thing. People need to realize that we all been lied to from birth. You need to understand, again, how everything is the exact opposite of what the Bible states. All your answers are in the Bible. Why don't the churches tell us this? They're the ones that are supposed to be telling us the truth about the Bible. Well, here's the problem. Take a look at these hand signs by Joel Osteen. These are all Freemasons in the game. See the 666 hand sign? All the Masonic signs. Taking a look more here. And here's Robert Wilson. The same exact satanic hand signs. This is how they control society. They control both those that believe in science and those that believe in God. The Bible is truth, but they're steering you off course. Right here, the 666 hand sign, the Masonic hand sign. It's all there, right in front of you. This is not by coincidence that they're all doing the same signs. All Freemasons, all part of the game. And here with John Hagee, again, more Masonic hand signs, the devil horns. These deceivers will never tell you that 9/11 was an inside job, the Boston bombing was a hoax, Sandy Hook was a hoax, all the racial saps that are taking place. That's their job, to tell you a good amount of truth when it comes to the Bible, but they're never going to tell you the absolute truth. This is what deceivers do. It's like if you're going to make a counterfeit dollar, you're going to make it look real as possible, to pass it off as legit, and that's exactly what these deceivers do. They have millions and millions worldwide deceived. For more reference, taking a look at some more of these deceivers, again, the double 666 hand sign, all Masonic. And here's Carter Colin. I've had people tell me on my channel, oh no, this guy's legit. If you believe this guy's legit, I'm sorry to say you're 100% deceived. All of them are Masons. There are no heroes in this world. If they were, they wouldn't be on TV. TV is 100% controlled. This is how they control all of society. Like the old saying goes, a picture says 1,000 words. All Masons in the game. Take a look here at Donald Trump, a major player in the game today. Again, Carter Cullen, Angela Merkel of Germany. You have Adolf Hitler here as well. I've had some people come to my channel claiming Adolf Hitler was some type of hero fighting off the elite, which is complete hogwash. He was part of the world stage. People don't get it, they never will. Now getting back on topic with the flat earth and showing how the firmament is above us, again with the sun and the moon within the firmament. And this is key here. From Genesis 1:14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament. This is within the firmament right there. So again, the churches don't tell you this, but this is the truth. Now let's look at evidence with video footage. Take a look as you see clouds behind the sun and in front of the sun. I'm also going to show some footage of the moon within the clouds, proving again how the Bible's truth. Clearly see, this is the sun, clouds behind, clouds in front. How is this possible if the sun is supposedly 93 million miles away? It's not. It's more like 1,000 to 3,000 miles away. Much smaller than we're told as well. You need to forget everything you were ever told in the history books, in schools, what NASA says, what the History Channel says. It's all lies. With this video, you can clearly see how the clouds are behind the moon. This is no illusion. The only illusion is what we're told in the school systems that are owned and operated by those that own and control this world, the anti-God system. The truth has always been in front of you. Right there. Just have to open your mind and let your eyes see the truth, which is right in front of you. People that don't believe in the Bible, they're completely deceived. Unfortunately, there's no turning back, and that's why they say, get them while they're young. First thing you do when you step in a classroom as a child, first thing you see is you see a globe. Every classroom is part of conditioning and brainwashing, the anti-God system. And now I'm going to play a previous video explaining more of the flat earth model. And again, when the Bible states there's ends of the earth, understand. I'll explain this more in the video coming up. The ring of ice, Antarctica. This surrounds the flat earth. And of course, the UN flag just so happens to match the flat earth model. This is mockery. This is how Satan operates, and his minions. They love to mock. And for those that are new to the flat earth concept and can't grasp it, don't completely understand, a lot of people's first reaction is, won't we fall over the edge? It doesn't work that way. The edges of the earth is a huge ice ring, which is Antarctica. And the sun, like the Bible says, the sun moves and the earth is stationary. It's fixed, immovable. So understand one simple thing. Everything we're told in the school system, in college, is the exact opposite of the Bible, just like evolution. How we all evolve from fish to monkeys to humans. The whole ball earth we're told in the school system is another lie. Everything we're told is a lie. And why do they lie to us about all this stuff? They want to be the ones that hold the knowledge. They want to mock God's people. I'm going to play this video. And there's no moon in this model, but understand one thing. The sun moves a bit faster than the moon. And one concept to also understand is, people that don't get it, at times you can see the moon and the sun in the sky at the same time during the day. That means on the other side of the supposed globe, there's no sun, there's no moon. Doesn't make sense at all. I'm going to play this clip. You can understand again how the sun works on a flat earth night and day. See, 3-hour time difference of the East Coast and the West Coast get their light. Exactly how it works. And the sun and the moon are much closer to Earth than we're told. Only a few thousand miles. The sun is not 93 million miles away. It's all lies by NASA, the government. We've been all lied to. And also to understand the solar eclipse, like I stated earlier, the sun and the moon move at different speeds. Just like a clock, the moon moves at different speed, a slower speed. That's how you get those eclipses, the solar eclipse. And also, I explained this before, with the 24-hour sunlight in Norway and in Alaska, when the sun moves, when it spins around the earth, it moves as it spins in and out. So again, when it spins towards the center, during the times of year that you get complete daylight in this region, the North Pole, the Arctic, that's why you get those 24-hour sun. And it doesn't happen in the south. The supposed southern hemisphere, for example, in the tip of South America, New Zealand, you never get those 24 hours daylight. And that's because, of course, as the sun moves around, it's not constant like it is in the Arctic. One other thing, the sun, how it moves from changing the seasons in and out. The sun, again, is furthest from the ice ring. So the further away you get, the colder it is, of course. This was holding everything in. Antarctica. It circles the entire flat Earth. I showed this clip before in a previous video. And this, again, is truth in plain sight with those that control Hollywood showing us the truth in these cartoons. This is how they do it. They love to put the truth in what seems to be ridiculous, such as cartoons, Illuminati card games, movies, commercials. This is how they do it. They love to mock us with truth with these ridiculous cartoons in this case. Take a watch.
Steroid Santa Claus kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back. And the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium.
Now do you understand how this matches up with the Bible verse in Genesis? The waters above. You people understand and get it, what's taking place here. This is biblical. And this is meant as mockery. When people watch this, they have no understanding what this is all about.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. The evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens, in the firmament of the heavens, in the firmament of the heavens, in the firmament of the heavens. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day.
Racism was, well, not altogether, but here in the last 10
Here
years
before him all the
created
earth.
by
The world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. The Lord reigneth, he is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. Say among the heathen that the Lord reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in.
Shit. Do you ever see them teach you about
$3 million miles away, more like 3,000 miles away. So again, understand, the moon moves much slower, and the sun moves at a faster rate. Now understanding, bring this down here a little bit, why you get the polar nights and the 24-hour sunlight in Norway and Alaska, when the sun is positioned closest to Alaska and Norway,
in the south that was fighting
basically
for the
rotating over these regions. And that's why you get these 24-hour daylights during specific times of the year. And that's why, again, certain points of the year you're going to get constant darkness down in Antarctica. Now understand, you're never going to get 24-hour sunlight in Antarctica, for the simple fact Antarctica is the ring around the world. So, for example, when the sun, say, is positioned right here and is moving along, of course, it cannot cover the whole ring and go round and round and cover it. It can only take place near the so-called North Pole. So this is a very short video explaining the polar nights. Now quickly explain the polar nights here in Svalbard, Norway.
It ain't always about slavery.
You can see this image here.
There's good and bad
now let's
people.
take a look at it on the map.
Yep, that's what I said.
This is, of course, the
Civil War
false
wasn't about racism.
Map that we are given
It was about federal
in the history books in the
taking
schools.
away the rights of southern states.
So again, it's that simple.
Flat Earth, what's up?
Why you get 24-hour nights
What's
and
up?
24-hour days
You made it through.
in this region up here, again, with the so-called
got a bad
North
cop
Pole,
out there, man. They ruin it
Alaska,
for everybody.
and
You
Norway,
gotta step up if you're a cop
this
out there and
region.
start disciplining your own.
altering its position
Violating
on the
people's
flat Earth.
rights and sit there and allow that cop to do
down
that.
low here. You don't hear about,
Flat
again,
Earth, what's up?
24-hour daylight in southern Argentina, Chile, New
Oh,
Zealand,
what's your name? Hold up. What's your name?
South
Where you calling
Africa. Doesn't happen because, again, on the flat Earth, which makes the most sense, the globe Earth makes no sense whatsoever, easily explained with a simple demonstration. I'm getting a lot of questions about satellites. You know, this is their evidence that the Earth is a ball. Now let's take a look at these images of these satellites. Do these look real to you? I want you people that talk about satellites all the time to show me a real image of a satellite. All you get are these CGI images, not a single real image
But
of a satellite
my-
anywhere.
The point.
Why is that? All we get is this fake garbage. You get a CGI satellite, you get a CGI planet, all bogus, 100%. So, for all you people coming to my channel, talking about satellites, make a video, produce real satellites. You can't do it because they don't exist, period. Supposedly, close to 3,000 satellites up in space. Again, all we get is this fake garbage. Now let's look at what ISS has to produce as far as real satellites. Get that fake garbage. You get this. All CGI, computer animated. Looks like a video game. Where are the satellites? You don't see any because they don't exist. Look at this. Wow. You believe this is real? If you believe this is real, you're going to believe every single lie NASA, the media, your government tells you. You've been completely blinded from birth. You believe everything you've been told your whole life. And any time someone questions an official story by your leaders, you get angry, you get upset, you get defensive. Because no one likes to be told they've been lied to their entire lives. Just keep watching this video, and again, show me where the satellites are. There are none. At least with this fake computer animated garbage, I'm surprised they didn't make any fake satellites I guess I think, oh, here's one. This must be real. Because this video is provided by NASA. But all you get, again, is computer animated garbage. Your whole life is nothing but garbage. Full of lies. That's all you get. You get angry at so-called conspiracy theorists who tell you the truth. Haters of truth, lover of lies. And some might ask, how does technology such as GPS and other technology that require satellites? It's very simple. All by ground towers, high-power ground towers, and under-ocean fiber optic cables.
Every time I'm walking on the face of the earth, looking up into the sky, I see the stars moving and hear the music grooving, and all I wanna know is why. Well, there's another theory that makes me feel leery, 'cause maybe things are not like they seem. So am I really spinning on a giant ball, or is it all just make-believe? Is the earth a sphere? Is the earth a plane? Now it's hard to say, oh yeah, like a program for a video game. You move how you move, but you think it's insane, yeah.
30 seconds and counting. Speed research just said fast. It's been a good time.
Go. Staying on.
25 seconds and counting. We are still go.
There you go.
20 seconds. Guidance alert. The guidance system now going internal. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Launch commit. Liftoff. We have liftoff.
Every time I'm gazing at the morning sun, looking through the lens of my eye, I change my direction and then I ask a question. Is it moving or am I just high? Well, maybe all the reasons for the change of seasons is not the way we think it should be. So could we be the center of the universe in an alternate reality? Am I standing still? Am I circling round? Now it's hard to say, oh yeah, an illusion in a magic show. I search for the truth because I wanna know, yeah.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
Every time I'm rocking on the face of the world, looking through the window of life, I feel outdated, but I appreciated the wisdom of embracing the light. Well, now that I am older, feeling kinda bolder, I think it's time to play what I feel. So I'll jam a few chords to a drum machine and a solo with the strings of steel. Are we going up? Are we coming down? Now it's hard to say, oh yeah, just computers what we're told, yeah.
Yes, a mutiny. The captain thinks the world is around, see? But we all know it's a flat, right?
Of course it's flat. Sure, I know the world is flat.
Well, so do I. Everybody knows that.
Good, good.
You see, my crew thinks the Earth is a flat, but we know it's around, right?
Yeah, right. Sure, it's round.
Of course it's round. Yeah.
What town, sir?
What town? Why, that's easy. Now there's the whole flat world as we know it.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. College tuition costs more than it's worth. Jobs are all going overseas. Opiates sold to monkeys on a ball in space, and there's no end to it.
And in 50 years, you're going to start doing some thinking on your own, and you're going to come up with the fact there are two certainties in life. One, the earth is flat. And two, you dropped 150 grand on your indoctrination that you could have got for $1.50 in late charges at the public library.
When you look at all the pharmaceuticals that are being forced on everybody, you can't even watch the idiot box without being drugged almost by the commercials. Everything's pills, and that's the solution to everything.
The Masons and the entire school system depends on the globe. He who can destroy a thing controls a thing.
Due to an increase in West Nile virus activity, several Fullerton neighborhoods will be sprayed with pesticides this week.
Any more questions from City Council?
Can I ask that the community
No,
that wasn't...
excuse me, you're out of order.
Yes, the
You're out of order.
The neighborhood
All right, let's move on to our next item.
that wasn't notified that we were removed,
Excuse me, you can take that up
from
with
the
the
spray
vector control,
zone.
please, not here.
Could we be removed from the spray zone since we were not notified?
In attempting to spray us and dump chemicals on us that are nerve agents and sterilants, which is all part of a pretext to kill us off. It's eugenics, ladies and gentlemen.
5G will be able to penetrate everything in its path. All material objects and even water and oxygen molecules all are subject to tampering with because of these frequencies. 5G will be working with microchip technology that has already been stored within our food, our credit cards, televisions. The groundwork has already been laid out in this electromagnetic grid for everything to receive the 5G signals. And the intention is to cover all parts of the world so nothing can escape this death grid. So we really need to buckle down and realize what we're dealing with. 5G is not one system. It's a multitude of AI alien technologies designed to work together. Chemtrails are loaded with nanotechnology, microscopic sentient fibers which bind to our neural system, making us susceptible to psychotronic weaponry and mind control as we become both receivers and transmitters, allowing behavior-modifying signals to be sent and received directly by us from the electromagnetic grid. Chemtrails also contain a multitude of heavy metals, aluminum, barium, and thorium, just to name a few. What happens when these particles rain down year after year on our environment? Our surroundings become coated with an invisible but pervasive skin of positively charged metals, and we become conductive. Yes, the heavy metals get lodged in our bones, tissues, and organs. Thus, we all become receptors for the signals coming from Gwen towers, microwave radiation, and hidden underground technology. These signals are able to not just mutate our DNA, messing with our mitochondria's ability to produce energy, and therefore misaligning our sacred genetic code, but the signals are able to feed off and instill emotions, thought forms within us. At the core, we are light beings, meaning the energy produced from our avatars are divine and organic, not synthetic and artificial like the electrical energy which we've been swimming in. This electromagnetic smog, paired with our body's conductivity and the nanotechnology, all work together to slowly, inch by inch, convert our natural light energy into electrical signals that can be manipulated and fed off of. This is the true mechanism of the energy extraction matrix. Our energy is literally converted at the cellular level, from light to electricity, through use of this technology, through the EMFs, the radiation, which bounce to and from every crevice of our bodies, day in and day out. And 5G is the final touch. The agenda is carried out by unseen forces. Who is an irrelevant question right now. It is a parasitic force using the Earth's vulnerable humans as an energy source. The speed of the 4G network is already fast, really fast. I mean, we can send texts, make calls, and look things up online in 2 seconds with the network that's already installed. So who is asking for 5G? Nobody. This is being rolled out as a means of slavery. Now for some solutions. We have so many ways to counteract this technology. You can purchase tower busters to change the negative radiation from the cell towers into positive healing radiation. This is orgonite. It's very powerful stuff. This is what it looks like. It's pretty cheap, and there are various instructions how to make them yourself if you're interested. These orgonite tower busters are good for placing near cell towers, on your desk at home, or just about anywhere you want to change the energy. Orgonite converts positive ions into negative ions, which are healing. Tower busters have an effective range of about a quarter mile, so you don't have to place one right next to a death tower to affect it. You can bury it nearby. You can put it in some plants, or keep one on a windowsill if you're near a tower. How great would it be if we could purchase a bunch of these and scatter them throughout our homes, towns, and cities? Bury 2 or 3 of them near cell phone towers. This would have noticeable effects over time.
Well, guys, we gotta do something about this 5G crap. My sentiments exactly, Purdock. Let's take this orgonite to the streets and bust these towers wide open. Yeah, let's do it.
I am with you, Zane.
I pity the fool put a 5G tower in my backyard. I'm with you, Zane. Great, Purdock, you get the flat tank warmed up. I'll load the orgonite in the trunk. Looks like we got company. This is the police. We have you surrounded. Please step away from the tower and put down the Organite. Face, they're all yours, buddy.
I shall eliminate them, Brother Zane. No one threatens the mighty Face.
Yeah, nice one, Face.
No problem, Zane.
Hey, Zane, you might want to have a look at this. It looks like there's a hole where the tower was. What the hell is down here? You smell that? Ugh. Feel the wrath of Purdock! Take that, you scum-sucking devil! Well, whatever it was, it's dead now.
This is breaking news from Southern California. A domestic terror group calling themselves the Flat Team has targeted and destroyed the city's cell phone towers today, along with killing 4 police officers. They are considered armed and highly dangerous. If you have any information leading to their whereabouts, contact your local law enforcement immediately.
Oh, that's not good.
We are America's most wanted now.
So what are we up against here anyway? These crazy beating hearts under the ground directly powered by these 5G towers. We might have to take a trip to the North Pole, start using our own Earth energy against these evil demons. You with me, brothers? Oh yeah!
I am with you, Zane.
Let's do it, Zane! These suckers messing with the wrong brothers! Okay, great. Purdock, you get the flat blimp warmed up. I'll get the supplies loaded in. North Pole, here we come. Well, Flat Team, we're on our way now. Purdock, load up the plasma rifles. We're likely to engage with UN soldiers on the way there. Aye, aye, Captain. I'm on it.
Attention! You are trespassing on UN territory. Please, turn back now or we will shoot you out of the sky.
Purdock, fire the plasma cannons at will. Aye, aye, Captain. Nice shooting, Purdock. Thanks, brother. Now, would you look at that? The center hole. Mr. Tree, are you ready to go? Oh yeah, Zane, I'm ready to go. All right, Mr. Tree, it's all you, brother. Geronimo! Yeah, woo! Heaven on earth, yeah, I pity the fool. About to regrow this tree of life.
This just in. The suspected terror group, known as the Flat Team, have bypassed the evil forces of the corrupt governments and successfully reignited the Tree of Life at the center of the flat plain. The ground is now fully charged with the power of the Aurora Borealis, and all trees are giving off a life force that we can use for food, energy, heat, and light. We owe a special thank you to the Flat Team for going against all odds, and especially to Mr. Tree, who sacrificed himself for the good of all.
Alright, yeah, Mr. Tree! You did good. I tell you what, I'm gonna miss that guy.
Yes, me too, Zane.
Yeah, he was a great guy, Mr. Tree. Well, looks like that's gonna do it. God, I love it when the truth comes together.
Schadenfreude is a German word that describes pleasure derived from someone else's misfortune.
What's it like in space? As if it was a secret. And space belongs to all of us. And I'd like to help you understand why it's a place that is magic. Kabunk. And we are weightless. And the mission and the magic begin. My favorite part about living up there was the flying. I loved it. It was like being Peter Pan. So we take our urine, we store it, we filter it, and then we drink it. And it's actually delicious.
The emissions issue in Europe. And he basically said, I want you to go sell LNG like the world looks flat. He basically said, I want you to go sell LNG like the world looks flat. He basically said, I want you to go sell LNG like the world looks flat.
Circumnavigation is really just a flat circle path. Gravity as we know it simply doesn't exist.
The sailor thinks that he's traveling around the Earth this way, when in effect he's traveling around the Earth this way.
It has happened in the past. I hear you. I don't want to be right about.
And there was much rejoicing.
Is the stuff we have now 100 years ago is because I don't know. Well, I don't know what they are. The way I describe this is the same way I talk about jujitsu.
Let me tell you something.
Lagoon, meaning eye. The
Let me tell you
human
something.
eye. Flat, flat. Flat, flat.
We're trying to move towards the future. They want to be stuck in the past.
Flat. It is a three-dimensional flat. Flat.
Let me tell you something. We've heard this kind of thinking before. We're trying to move towards the future. Let me tell you something.
There are still an enormous number of things left to find, so keep searching, keep looking.
Let me tell you something.
Flat, flat.
The one thing to remember here, if you're making still water, it's always flat, always level.
If I say that the world is round,
else says it's flat.
We'll sell out every day, might as well be on the winning team.
That's word for word. But it might also
We have been holding scientific
flat.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Send humans to orbit Mars and further face the Earth. Landing on Mars will flat. Let me tell you something.
We're all citizens of this blessed land. And no matter our color,
If I say that the
or
world
the
is
blood,
round,
the color of the
someone else
blood
says it's
we
flat.
bleed,
That's worth reporting.
are equal, totally equal in the eyes.
Not representing the globe. I'm representing.
Much of science seems to support the notion that the world is round.
I recently got a deal on some plasma globes on eBay. Well, they are pretty neat. I feel like with the right modifications, it's flat.
The world is flat.
Go get this done.
The world is
Get out of here, too.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So when you're at 35,000 feet, that's above the Himalayas.
Yeah.
You are up there, and there's on average 35,000 feet. This is NASA statistics, so probably not true. 10 feet of water and 6 inches of stone. Because there's
The world is the world is flat.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Today I wanted to talk about the lottery. As most of you know, the things in our world are fixed, are rigged, and things like the lottery are just another psychological operation for people to think they can get rich quick, to give them a little bit of hope in their lives. Now I'm talking about the major lotteries. I'm not talking about scratch-off tickets where you could win $50, $20, $100, even sometimes $1,000. Those are in place to give people the illusion that the big lotteries, the mega millions, are actually real. So people think, oh, I've won a scratch off before. I can win the big one if I pick the right numbers. It's all an illusion. Remember, they're not allowing anyone to become an instant millionaire or billionaire in this world. They control the wealth. They control the resources. They control everything. Just imagine if someone like myself had won the lottery and won $600 million. Don't you think they'd be a little afraid that maybe an uprising actually could start or would start? They would never allow that to happen. They won't let people get rich. Even people who come up with great ideas, they'll steal the idea, or they'll make you sell them the idea, or become a part of the brotherhood. Otherwise, they could just off you and take it. So I wanted to talk about the lottery. And of course, it starts with the logo, right? How many times do we see these logos that just tell us in plain sight what we're looking at? Well, look at the logo for the National Lottery. You have to be blind not to see it. You could clearly see the 666. You see the 6, and then you see the 2 6s, which are supposed to be eyes. And how many times do we see this stuff? How many times do we see these logos that constantly show us who's in control, who these people work for, the 666 or the Ouroboros or the pyramid, right? The constant signs, the constant symbols. You could see it right there, right in plain sight for everyone to see who has eyes to see. You can't hide the fact that that's a 666. And of course, we know that even in the Illuminati card game, the state lotteries is one of the cards inside the game. Because these lotteries give people a fake illusion of hope in their lives. Just something else for them to take and give you and then step on. Because remember, they constantly want you to think you could become this, you could become that. Right? You could do anything you want. You could be a millionaire. You could be an athlete. You could be an actor. You could be a famous musician. You could be a model, America's Next Top Model. It's all of this stuff they want you to waste your time trying to achieve and think you can get. And like I said, they give you the illusion with the lottery that there's a chance that you can win the lottery because you've won a small raffle before in your town, right? Oh, you won the raffle at the local fair. Oh, you won a scratch-off ticket and made $50. So you could do it. You can go for the big one if you pick the right numbers. Yet how many people actually know somebody who has won the Mega Millions or won millions of dollars in the lottery? Know the person personally. And I'm not saying some of the times that money isn't handed out, because if it is, it's usually handed out or given to somebody who's a high-ranking Freemason or who has connections as a reward. The lottery itself was set up pretty much for fundraising. George Washington would sponsor public lotteries. And with that money, they would build roads, the extra money or the money that was taken out of the lottery. They build roads, schools, things like that. We know George Washington was a Freemason. Another person who was involved in lotteries to raise money, to raise funds, was Thomas Jefferson, who issued his own private lottery to help pay off his personal debts. Ben Franklin sponsored his own lottery to buy cannons for the Continental Army, wink, wink, supposedly. And for those of you that don't know Ben Franklin, how many bodies they found buried underneath his house when they excavated his house. Bodies of children, right? And people don't hear about that because they go, well, Ben Franklin was just doing experiments on these bodies. Oh, was he? And then what? When he was done experimenting on the bodies, he buried them in the crawl space under his house, like John Wayne Gacy? I don't think so. They all work alike. It's all an intricate network. And the lottery is just one of those massive, massive scams that's out there that keeps people constantly looking for some type of hope in this world. Instead of picking up their Bible, instead of having hope and faith in Jesus Christ, people have faith in all of these things that they make people crave, right? Crave money, crave power, crave success. They want you to crave what they crave. And that's pretty much a world that they've created now, where you look around and people are just constantly striving for stuff that they can't achieve. It's the old dangle the carrot in front of the horse's face, he can never get it, or put the cheese in front of the mouse that he can never get, right? The mouse inside the wheel, just constantly running in an endless circle to get nowhere. And that's what the lottery really is. The illusion of this stuff. But remember, they always want to give you a taste, right? You can get a taste, you can win a scratch off, all that stuff, because it creates a bigger illusion in your head. But like I said, nobody's met any of these people. We see clearly in the Illuminati card game showing us, look at the people in the picture. Play instant riches, right? Everybody's just grabbing the scratch tickets, the lotto tickets, just continuing to chase after this illusion. And like I said, the logo itself speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. It's all in a logo. These companies, people think that they just come up with a logo. They pull it out of thin air. They're like, hey, we're going to have somebody come in and they're going to put up some logo ideas and we're going to pick the one. Yet all of them seem to have a 666, whether it's Disney, whether it's Google Chrome. You name the gas station company, Starbucks. All of these logos are filled with satanic imagery. Images which all go back and link directly to the occult. So I just want people out there to know that, to think that way. Because they want you to constantly waste your money. The money that you put into the lotto goes right back to them. And then they tell us that we're in so much debt. Oh, our country is in so much debt. We're all in so much debt. Debt, right? Because debt beats you down. Meanwhile, all this money that they collect just goes right back in their pocket. Just like everything else, it goes right back to the top, right? We work all these hours. People work 9 to 5, 9 to 7 every day, just so they can come home and pay their rent and pay their property tax. They're left with what? A couple $1,000 if they're lucky at the end of the year in savings. And all the money that they work and slave for goes right back to the people at the top. And what they do is they just waste your life away. 40, 50 years of waste, distraction, keeping you away from truth, keeping you away, in a sense, from God, too. A lot of people are too busy to seek God, to read the Bible. A lot of people are too depressed to even want to do anything because they're constantly enslaved. And then it also gives people no time to do what? To search for answers, to do the stuff that is going on out there, that people are researching and finding out about the lies and the deceit of this world. And we've seen so many times over these huge power balls, right? These huge, huge power balls, and nobody hits them. Nobody that you know. You see these random people go up, they all look the same, cookie cutter white guy, older, holding the check. But when you look back at the origins of the lottery, you need to look no further. It was started for fundraising. And now what is it used for? Oh, people to get rich quick, right? Nobody asks about what happens to the money that's taken out. Can we get it? Can anybody account for the money? If somebody made $650 million, can anyone account for the other $325 million that goes into taxes and where it gets spread out and all that stuff? No, because nobody cares. Nobody asks any questions about that stuff. Nobody says, hey, who's this winner? You get a little fake story. They'll put the Powerball winner on Good Morning America. Oh, I walked into the store. I wasn't going to do it. I was going to go home and see my wife. And I said, maybe I'll stop in and put my wife's favorite numbers on the ticket. And what do you know? We won. And people go, oh, man, all those times I've thought about pulling over and getting a ticket, a Powerball ticket. I never did. I drove by. I'm going to do it from now on. Because they try to relate to people. Oh, yeah, I've done that before. I put my wife's favorite numbers or my kids' birthdays down. It's going to hit one of these times. But then all you got to do is just look right at the logo right in front of your face. Because it's always right there. The National Lottery. 666. Need I say more? Fingers crossed, folks. Give me an absolute break. Remember, this is always an illusion. An illusion of things that you think you can obtain, you think you could achieve. The illusion of a republic. The illusion of freedom when we're really being monitored and listened to and watched around the clock. These are all illusions. Illusions of grandeur. You're going to be the next big thing. Get on The Voice. Get on American Idol. You could be the next star. Push yourself harder. You could be the next NFL quarterback or Major League Baseball player. Not true. It's just not. It's a controlled system. And people don't realize how many of them there really are. Whether they're low-ranking Masons or people who have gone through it and are high-ranking Masons or people who have ascended above that, whose family members are the famous musicians, whose children are the famous musicians. Doesn't matter how much talent you have or how great you are. Doesn't mean that there's not sometimes people that get through on their own, because that can happen, but they'll control it and make sure you don't get as far as you want or as far as you think you can get without joining in. The illusion of freedom, and just like the illusion that you could be the next millionaire. Just ask, people that none of us have ever met or come across in our lives who have done it. The cookie cutter interview, people who get interviewed on Good Morning America that you never hear from or see from again. Don't fall for the deceptions. Don't waste your time or your money on these things that you have no control over. Things don't happen at random with these people. They're not randomly going to let somebody become a millionaire. You and me, we're not randomly hitting a $600 million scratch off. Okay? Every number and every ticket that gets bought, they have that processed in a system, so they know that the ticket's out there. Right? Why do you think you get these, the Powerball has reached $700 million. Oh, it's reached $1 billion. Because every single number is accounted for in every ticket. And they just run it through software. Right? And they'll say, okay, make sure the numbers come, whatever they do to have the numbers come out. Obviously, the balls pop up or whatever they do, which can easily be rigged, obviously. It's not like, they're going through each ball inside the thing and showing you that it comes out at random. It's all controlled, with the vacuum sucking the balls out of the thing. But they know which numbers are in there. So they go, okay, we'll make it these numbers because nobody has this ticket. And then we'll continue building it up and building it up. And the suckers will keep buying the tickets and wasting the little money that they have left over from their paycheck to buy the tickets with hopes that they can live like Jay-Z or live like LeBron James or live like Katy Perry and be rich. And then they do it again, and they do it again, and they do it again, and the media just pumps it up. Oh, you hear about the Powerball? Oh, you hear about the Powerball? At least once or twice a year, you'll hear about it. They'll get everybody out there, all the suckers to go buy the tickets, wasting the money the little money they have, giving them this little carrot on a string of hope that their lives can change and they don't have to go back into the matrix. But what ends up happening? Somebody wins, nobody knows, and then they go away. And it's not a coincidence, folks. Nothing in this world happens at random when it comes to lots and lots of money like this. Randomly, somebody's not just going to fall upon it. And like I said, you could see the card in the Illuminati card game. You can see what a distraction is. And the 666 is right in the logo. I thank you guys for listening to today's show. Hope I didn't dash anybody's hopes. Doesn't mean you can't make money inside of this system, but obviously your goal in life should not be money. We all need money to live. We all need money to get by. But becoming a millionaire instantly overnight is just not in the cards for any of us. And it shouldn't be something that we strive for or want. They just try to make us think that it'll bring happiness to our lives. It'll bring happiness to your life. You won't have to worry. Yeah, well, it would be nice not to have all these bills that we all have. But really, in reality, we shouldn't have all these bills that we have and things that we owe money to. It's because we've allowed them to control all this. But we could always take that control away. That's really the key. I thank you again for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.
I've got my theories and I've got my points of view. The world is flat and I still have a chance with you. God is good and life is fair and heaven's waiting, so I'll meet you there. And they'll call us daughters down at King's and we won't fight. I'll walk you home and tuck you in at night, and we'll watch the dawn get mugged on Chapel Street, and we will raise a family. I'll be the apple of your parents' eyes, and they'll raise a glass to us, and I won't drink the bottle dry. We'll wake each morning and we'll count our lucky stars. There's no relationship as strong as ours, and we'll share in half our problems. We'll talk our worries through. There'll be no little secrets that I hold back from you. You'll find fulfillment and I won't play away, and we can only get stronger. You've got suspicions and you say you've got proof that my commitment's flawed, that I can't speak the truth, that I am lost and I am scared, and the lawyer's waiting, so I'll meet you there, and they'll call our number and we won't put up a fight. We'll split the pension and I swear I'll see you right. Where there was hate, well, please let there be calm before the storm besets us. You know I'll love you till the day I die, and I've got my reasons, but please don't ask me why. We'll wake alone some nights and wish on falling stars that no one makes the same mistakes as ours, and we'll never share our problems or talk our worries through, and all those little secrets will make their way to you. You'll find fulfillment, I'll play and lose away, and we won't raise that family.
Hello. So, we are the Mongol tables. The world is flat, isn't it? Yeah. Checks in the post.
so I'll meet you there. They'll call our orders down the kings and we won't fight. I'll walk you home and tuck you in at night, and we'll watch the dawn get mugged on Chapel Street, and we will raise a family. I'll be the apple of your parents' eyes, and they'll raise a glass to us, and I won't drink the bottle dry. We'll wake each morning and we'll thank our lucky stars. There's no relationship as strong as ours, and we'll share in half our problems. We'll talk our worries through. There'll be no little secrets that make their way to you. You'll find fulfillment, and I won't play away, and we can only get stronger. Suspicions, and you say you've got proof that my commitment's flawed. I can't speak the truth, that I am lost and I am scared, and the lawyer's waiting, so I'll meet you there, and they'll call our number and we won't put up a fight. We'll split the pension, and I swear I'll see you right. Where there was hate, well, please let there be calm before the storm that sets up. You know I love you till the day I die. I've got my reasons, please don't ask me why. We'll wake alone some nights and wish on falling stars that no one makes the same mistakes as ours. We'll never share our problems or talk our worries through, and all those little secrets will make their way back to you. You'll find fulfillment, I'll play and lose away, we won't raise that family. Thank you very much.
Says the Earth is definitely flat. You can't truly be serious and believe that this Earth is flat. Are you disputing our astronauts who have seen our beautiful round globe?
No one's been to the moon.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you say nobody has been to the moon?
The awakening. Being awake among the zombies, the dead sheep. No matter what crowd, no matter where on this flat earth you walk, it will seem like you're the only one moving forward while everyone else is moving backwards. Realizing that you're awake among a vast amount of people,
that this Earth is flat. Are you disputing our astronauts who have seen our beautiful round globe from outer space?
A lonely feeling. Unless you, of course, you're on YouTube, where you can find people who are also awake But no matter where you go, whether you're in Tokyo, New York City, Jamaica, the masses will single you out. To you, they'll just look like zombies. And you're unable to warn them, to tell them what you've learned, because you've been looking for the truth. The thing is, if you don't change or learn something new,
Says the Earth is definitely flat. You can't truly be serious and
There are no absolute truths. Right. There are no absolute truths. Right. We milked that puppy.
And that dude who Felix. It is, you just don't. That stuff is flat.
16,000 research papers. It was really freaking. All telescopes today are reflecting telescopes. Yeah.
There are no absolute truths. Right.
But even a clear sky, there's turbulence in the clear air.
Okay.
You know what it's like? Have you ever been on a hot day and you look on the surface of the pavement and you see the image kind of undulates? That's where you get mirage.
Yes,
mirage is from.
looks like water.
Looks like water, right? Yeah.
There are no absolute truths. Right.
Looks like water.
Looks like water, right? Yeah. That movement of the air, preventing you from seeing a clear image, that's happening in every direction you look in the sky.
There are no absolute truths. Right.
So how do you get rid of that?
Get above the atmosphere.
Oh, well, I bet you Isaac Newton didn't do that. You know, the more you tell me about this Newton guy, the more I'm starting to think he was freaking.
He drew the diagram that gave us our understanding of what orbits are.
And that dude who...
There are no absolute truths. Right.
Hey, I'm talking about the current.
Oh, okay. Slow down, all right,
dude.
Slow down.
Okay, so now.
See, that's the cool thing about science. If you look a little deeper or a little farther, it's
conditionally true.
It's conditionally
Correct.
true.
Yeah.
That's right. There are no absolute truths. Right. That's right.
Of course, it's really expensive to get video of telescopes in space. You think it was easy to get this? Well, how about this? And the James Webb Space Telescope? It isn't even in space yet, but we can still show you this clip.
And that dude who...
Here, as always.
Many people don't know that
the two most potent tools in the scientist's arsenal
are
those two instruments. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
That sounds cool.
I'm done here. I mean, don't give bad things good names.
See you later.
Living free, it's gaining on me. Can't keep the hit of my dream. My relief turned out of thee. Smooth as rocks in the street. This old town is a sad fate. You'll be glad you're not there. It ties your hands, spikes your dream. I'd say more. I can't think. Lazy Jane took a bottle with him. Tried to fly down a train. Left a note, couldn't read what he wrote. A light came on in my head. This old town is a sad affair. You'll be glad you're not there. It ties your hands, it spikes your dream. I'd say more. As I go, mornings are cold. Don't know a soul out on the street. I keep to myself like everyone else.
feel like thoughts in my head. In the time, train against sleep. Rats to kill, contracts to fill. It's on us that it won't keep. It's so time is a sad affair. You'll be glad you're not there. It ties your hand, it spikes your dream. I'd say more, but I can't think. Sometimes it's a sad affair. You'll be glad you're not there. It ties your hands, it spikes your dreams. Yeah, I'd say more.
I hate this stuff.
I understand. And I can help. I've yet to encounter a case that's beyond my help. The Helgramite method is unique.
Well, what are you going to do?
It's the first step in your treatment.
Pretty. Ooh, let's see. Oh, well.
This method, there's no turning back.
Things couldn't get much worse.
Hey, Vsauce. Michael here. Do you want to see the most illegal thing I own?
Where the fixed head Star Trek is.
Put the truth in the movies
and lies throughout the news. They manufacture opinions and form all of your views. Everything we think we know is actually opposite of the truth. But what do you do when reality's fraudulent? The whole system is rigged, it's an illusion of choice. You can keep screaming and yelling, end up losing your voice. Think it deep, because half of you are asleep, the other half are just sheep. Wakey and we can't seem to win. After seeing all the things I've seen, I'll never sleep again.
Everything is a lie. Slave till the day you die. World full of boogeymen. I'll never sleep again. Rules that you must obey. Can't seem to get away. It's making my head spin. I'll never sleep again. Time to wake up. Time to wake up. Time to wake up. Never sleep again. Time to wake up. Time to wake up. Time to wake up. Never. Cats. Cats. Cats.
That's what makes this so perfect.
Gentlemen, it's been said of the 1980s that there are no great adventures left. No great deeds of daring remain undone to challenge British ingenuity and British pluck. Fellows, I say that's nonsense. It's more than nonsense, it's tummy rubbish. There is one great adventure left.
Sir, you're mad, bloody mad. It can't be done.
What can't?
Oh, haven't you said yet?
No.
Oh, awfully sorry, sir. Do carry on.
I was just about to. Fellows, what I propose has never been done before. It's difficult and it's dangerous, but I think we can do it. Timson, would you mind pulling down that map for me?
Sir, you were asking that man to commit suicide.
No, I still haven't said he did. Timson. Gentlemen, I propose that we become the first men ever to cross the Antarctic barefoot, in pairs, tied together in the manner of a three-legged race, until we reach a point exactly 3 yards to the left of the South Pole.
To the left? You are mad. No, hang on a moment. I'm beginning to see what you mean.
Don't mind. They're not gonna believe what just happened.
Shout out to What World D, my brother. Shout out to Shanna Hunea. Big up yourself. Word up.
You don't really understand sometimes what a terrible burden it is to know some of the things that I know.
Oh, yeah.
And try to wake people up and impart this knowledge to them. And find out that they just have walls built in front of them. They want to be slaves.
Now, I risk sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but it's no longer a theory. What I'm about to say is fact. The secret organizations of the world power elite are no longer secret. They have planned and are now leading us into a one-world communist government.
Take a journey with me deep inside the rabbit hole. Wake up, my friends, there's some things that you have to know. Everything you ever thought you knew, it has to go. For instance, NASA is the world's largest magic show. 9/11 was a planned demolition and Sandy Hook was a scam. Come on, man, are you tripping? Constant programming being crammed in your vision. Just take a step back and examine this prison. Turn on the news and they're trying to blind you. All they ever do is tell you lies and divide you. There's nowhere you can even hide, they'll find you. Illuminati, all-seeing eye right behind you. It's about time you find out we're being lied to. They're attempting to control the mind that's inside you. Hide you from the power that designed you. Does anybody have a problem with this? Well, I do. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking, then they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking, then they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. They're lying to us about everything. How can this be? I know I'm not crazy, and yet I'm questioning my sanity. I see what the Illuminati's doing to humanity. The truth is stranger than fiction. We're living in a fantasy. What I'm witnessing is unreal. It's a one-way battle for us cattle going uphill. If we don't stand and fight now, then no one will. Our children will never know freedom. It's a done deal. The future's not looking so promising. It's the poor who go to war while the rich keep on profiting. It's us that they're slaughtering and money that they're honoring. And soon it's gonna be the new world order that they're offering. It's mind-boggling how so many don't seem aware. And if they are, it's like they really just don't even care. Our world is broken and I'm hoping it can be repaired. But we'll have to fight for it, so just be prepared. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking, then they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking, then they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof.
Forget the politicians. Politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking.
The earth is flat. You've been lied to. Run a Google search and tell me what you find, dude. Nothing but lies and skepticism. Theories of Newton, the alchemist. The confusing math and product.
Oh, yeah.
With us.
Yeah.
I had you for one. Bill Nye had you for another.
Yeah.
The first time I think we talked about the zombie apocalypse. And Bill Nye, you talked about Ebola. Felicia Madison.
You got it.
Felicia, first timer.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm a comedian and a producer of comedy. All right, we'll keep looking for you out there.
If you want to have an affair, make sure.
Very nice. Tagline. We've solicited and the Ebola virus.
From Keela.
You're just kissing ass there.
Yeah, that's what they're for. So
Mhm.
I'm Kelia Silvis.
Vaccines. Punishments. Governance. Government source. The role of vaccine. Why, for example, is the vaccine movement of government punishments and drug company, the Italian government, all vaccines.
So do you just
punishments? Punishments.
Anyway, that's how I escaped from space prison. Oh, scary place. Well, Rick.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. 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 It is photoshopped, but it's
This looks fun.
It is
Are you
photoshopped,
going to the
but
moon?
It's
It's
just
boring
It is
space
photoshopped,
stuff
but
for
it's
babies,
has to
Daddy.
be.
It's not
It is
real.
photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
And topping this half hour, a new billboard in Detroit causing a lot of controversy.
Looks like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a whole show? Are you living in space? Oh yeah, I can. Oh yeah, I can. Oh yeah, I.
Welcome back to the 100th Monkey Project.
A Correspondent Candid with Anderson Cooper.
What was it like to walk down the streets of Detroit with Eminem?
Oh, what up, man? How you doing? Good to see you, man.
Get two Diet Cokes?
You buying?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Wow, thanks, man. Right there, because I don't fight fair. I've got an idea that's a nightmare. You have white hair.
All right, well, thanks.
Hey, it rhymed, man.
All right, it did. It did.
I'm Slim Shady. Those stories and more tonight on 60 Minutes.
I mess it up. In fact, even now I do like. You do like really interesting. I mean, it's 10 IMs for each one that actually gets on the air. I'm Anderson Cooper.
You know what he told me about you? He calling you names. He called you a little piece of chicken. Little piece of chicken. Little piece of chicken.
Watch King Kong climb to the top of the Twin Towers every time you have a drink. It's the King Kong drinking straw. When your glass is full, King Kong sinks to the bottom. Put in your straw. And as you drink, watch him climb. The more you drink, the higher he climbs until he reaches the top. The King Kong drinking straw comes complete with 2 throwaway straws. The King Kong Drinking Straw by Mego.
And now you can build your own King Kong with these challenging King Kong model kits. You need no glue, no special tools. Just snap together and paint it, and you have a realistic model of Kong fighting the giant snake. Or for a real challenge, build King Kong on top of the Twin Towers. When you're finished, they make a great addition to any kid's room. King Kong model kits come complete with easy-to-follow picture instructions. By Mego. By Mego. By Mego. By Mego. By Mego. By Mego.
From the Eagle Force collection, it's Eagle Force Talon Tank and Captain Eagle. Plus Turk and the Eagle Force Eliminator Jeep. Figures and vehicles each sold separately. Batteries for Jeep and Tank not included. You can pretend the Jeep is trapped, a logjam in front, and avalanche in back.
Bring up the tank!
You can pretend the Eagle Force tank can save the day. can make it climb the avalanche and clear the way. Eagle Force Eliminator, Jeep, and Talon Tank, plus Captain Eagle and Turk. Vehicles and figures each sold separately. By Mego.
Alright, this just broke 1 hour ago. Insane 60 inches of snow forces National Guard onto Pennsylvania streets. So we have the National Guard being let loose on Pennsylvania streets because of snow. A Pennsylvania county was pummeled with 60 inches of snow in 2 days, breaking records and requiring the National Guard to help keep the roads and county residents safe. What is this? I'm not going to play it. Starting on Christmas Eve, a massive snowstorm swept through northern Erie County, Pennsylvania, accumulating over 60 inches of snow on late Tuesday afternoon, according to Cleveland's National Weather Service. 34 inches of snow fell on Christmas Day, marking an all-time record for a single day of snowfall in Erie. We've never seen such astronomical snow totals over the last 48 hours, NWS Cleveland meteorologist Zach Sefcovic told Go Erie. Cleveland's NWS also tweeted about the insane amount of snow, which now totals almost 64 inches. Here's a tweet from NWS Cleveland, who's verified, by the way. The 7 a.m. snow observation at Erie International Airport was 1.3 inches of new snow since midnight. The 3+ day total since snow began after 7 p.m. Christmas Eve is 63.8 inches of snow. Hashtag PAWX. And that was at 6:58 a.m. this morning. Erie County Executive Kathy Dahlkemper signed a declaration of national emergency early Tuesday afternoon, following a call on the National Guard, followed by a call on the National Guard to help alleviate safety concerns in road impasses. Mayor Joe Sinnott told Go Erie that the city had been watching the weather and was prepared for the storm, but not for the magnitude of snow. Quote, "I think our guys are doing a tremendous job, but we have to work ahead of us." The city's assistant director of public works, but we have to work ahead of us? But we have to work ahead of us. The city's assistant director of public works, Chuck Ziesk, also said, according to Go Erie, "I'm a God-fearing man. That's basically it." A man identified only as Rick told Go Erie, "God is good. He gave us the snow. We always want a white Christmas. Well, we got one." Wow. I don't want that Shutterstock in there. I'll do it like that. Alright, guys. Just wanted to let you know about that. National Guard and everything, you know what I mean? I wonder if this is kind of a way to, get the National Guard out there, and then you see them on the streets, and they're in Pennsylvania from the snow, and then shift them over to Chicago or whatever. I don't know. Alright, this has been James from the Research Revolution. I'm out of here. Alright, guys. Check this out. This is a mystery as blue snow covers St. Petersburg, with locals fearing bizarre phenomenon is due to toxic chemicals. Now, I want to let you know that, remember this that happened? Now, this was over in Siberia. Remember this? Remember this thing? This huge gas, whatever, giant orb appears over Siberia. Now, this was a little bit ago. So I don't know. I thought it would came down by now, but maybe it was another test or something. But I just wanted to put this into your memory. This was, I don't know. This was a couple months ago, maybe. Okay, so there's this type of stuff going on, but now There's this coming out. Mystery as blue snow covers St. Petersburg, with locals fearing bizarre phenomenon is due to toxic chemicals. So you have blue snow coming down. That's not a good sign. All right, let's get the bullet points. Some believers the blue snow is due to the demolition of a research institute in the city. Experts said the colors could have been caused by cobalt or methane blue or methylene blue. Samples were taken to lab for analysis and an investigation has been launched. Citizens were baffled when blue snow covered the ground in St. Petersburg, Russia. The odd phenomenon was captured on video after the colored snow fell this week on the city of Leningrad Oblast, President Vladimir Putin's hometown. Residents were shocked at the incident and became worried it could have been due to toxic chemicals in the atmosphere. So we're going to go ahead and save that, please. That's going to be my thumbnail. The odd phenomenon was witnessed in Leningrad Oblast, President Vladimir's Putin's hometown. There we got a up close and personal look at this blue snow. And I guess that's the sample they're going to take for analysis at the laboratory. Some believe the blue snow was a result of the demolition of the city's Chemical Pharmaceutical Research Institute. Samples were taken to a laboratory for analysis and an investigation into the incident has been launched. I would play the video, but they slammed me, so we're just going to watch the GIF. So he's putting blue snow into the thing. Some believe the snow was a result of the demolition of the city's Chemical Pharmaceutical Research Institute. According to local media, experts said the colors could have been caused by cobalt, a metallic element, or methylene blue, a substance used in some medical treatments. Samples were taken to a laboratory for analysis and an investigation into the incident has been launched. In February 2015, blue snow also occurred in the Russian city of Chelyabinsk, some 1,500 miles to the east of St. Petersburg. An investigation was carried out which revealed that the blue color was due to food coloring used in Easter eggs. What? The dye had gotten into the ventilation system of a factory and had been spread all over the area. It is not yet clear why the latest blue snow has fallen. But after an average of 1 centimeter fell, citizens have been simply shoveling the phenomenon out of the way to go about their daily lives. Breaking news. Right? The blue snow in Russia. This has been James from the Research Revolution. I'm out of here.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do. Just when I think you couldn't possibly do and totally redeem yourself. Something like this. And totally redeem yourself.
Before the event, from information that was available and understanding that was available, was it fully appreciated everywhere that this seal would become unsatisfactory at some temperature, and was there some sort of a suggestion of a temperature at which the SRB, I guess you call it,
yes,
shouldn't be run?
Yes, sir. There was a suggestion of that. To answer the first question, given the configuration that we ran, that the seal would function at that temperature. That was the final judgment.
But Commission member Richard Feynman, after examining the O-ring, had a surprise.
Oh, I took the stuff that I got out of your seal and I put it in ice water. And I discovered that when you put some pressure on it, for a while and then undo it, it maintains, it doesn't stretch back, it stays the same dimension. In other words, for a few seconds at least, and more seconds than that, there's no resilience in this particular material when it's at a temperature of 32 degrees. I believe that has some significance for our problem.
You know it well. How would you describe it?
Well,
what's happening on a Saturday night?
So people don't know the distinction between. However, what happened here to me is mind-boggling. View, if you want it to be, prisoners are strange. He's a possible rat also. They believe you're a rat when you do it. I do not understand a Whitey Bulger. I do not understand. It wasn't working. I do not understand is the best in the world. I do not understand. He has eyes. Substitute or not, who cares? That's silly. Valuable information about the truth or the falsity. He was looking at. So. His dream. I do not understand. Dream. So. I mean, you got to be nuts. You got to be nuts. So.
Gauge your mental state.
I do not understand.
Charged with doing. Is that true?
That is true.
Doing.
Yes.
Okay. Doing.
I have to step back and say I don't know what to believe.
Doing.
From there.
Doing.
Al Anastasia and the two police officers.
500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago.
Time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change.
What's up, y'all? It's Flat Earth Bob here. I'm starting this GoFundMe because I would like to send one, if not multiple, satellites as far into space as I can, or into orbit as I can, to find the curve. I'm looking for the curve.
But here. Erotic psychedelic.
Anger.
Okay, but here.
Rock musicians get their music while on drugs or from spirit guides, which are demons.
Sometimes I wonder why they could be so dumb that something they're doing exactly what is going to lead to their destruction.
Erotic psychedelic.
Anybody that's come on television must be an initiated witch. You can just check them off.
Which is a far cry from the $666.66 it sold for back in 1976.
It's the next generation, bro.
Okay, but here.
You know, they say, oh, this is all nonsense. And I feel like, knocking on their heads and asking if there's anybody home up there. It's done in secret.
It's the next generation, bro. Ironic psychedelic.
What about being a witch drew you so much to the religion?
I liked the empowerment.
It's the next generation, bro.
Could it be Satan?
Okay, but here.
This couldn't be a terrible dream, a nightmare that you're reliving.
No. It's no dream. It's a nightmare, but it's not one you can wake up from.
We're the next generation!
But you know how to become a political champion in the text.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood.
Okay, but here.
Research.
I'm sick and tired of hearing things from uptight, short-sighted, narrow-minded hypocrites. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. I've had enough of reading things by neurotic, psychotic, pig-headed politics. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. I'm sick and tired of hearing things from uptight, short-sighted, narrow-minded hypocrites. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. I've had enough of reading things by neurotic, psychotic, pig-headed politics. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. I'm sick and tired of hearing things from uptight, short-sighted, narrow-minded hypocrites. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth.
Subversives first again, right, welcome. Yeah, thanks for coming into my premiere. So yeah, I started again because I thought, what's the point? I'm not hardly getting anyone watching, so I started again. Maybe it'll be better this time because it'll go out to more people. So tell everyone I'm starting again, and maybe those will come and then some more people will get notified, so they'll get sent out to a lot more people then. So yeah. James White guy, he once said, right, I wasn't getting that many likes and stuff, I'm going to start again, so that way more people get notified. Slow day, weather, nice outside and all. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's been a bit kind of a mix of sort of cloud and sunshine, but it's been really windy, so it's even though it's been like 16 degrees Celsius, it was like feeling quite a bit. Oh, I see, Jamie Chapman. That's like a new channel, isn't it? Yeah, 15 subscribers. My health and life is more important than Uber. Fair enough. What's lit? Title of his video is Flat Earth Jamie. He's been streaming every day now, but odd show he has colas Yeah. But I noticed that some of these streamers, they get full panels, yet there's like 3 people watching them or whatever. It's like, whereas there's people that have no one really on the panel hardly, but then 30 people watching or whatever, or 40 people watching.
Donate crap.
But his views have racked up a bit, like even like saying he's got 1 person watching, but like the one he did from a day ago has gotten like 28 views, and another one from a day ago got 58 views. So for 15 subscribers, that's not bad.
Earth is a level, motionless plane with the sun, moon, and stars revolving over and around us, just as you experience
King Tash
every
Family
day.
Vlog says hello. How
The
you
North
doing,
Pole
King Tash
is the
Family
magnetic
Vlogs?
monopole center point,
Have
with
been
Polaris,
approved
the
for
North Pole
unemployment.
star,
Okay.
situated directly above. Polaris is the only motionless star in the heavens, with all the other constellations revolving perfect circles over the
guess
Earth
people
every
are just
night.
gonna have to, like, pay
The so-called
back for
planets,
all that stuff,
known
like,
to the ancients as wandering
probably gonna
stars,
get more
were named
taxes
such because they were
of all the
observed then,
unemployment.
as we can observe today, to wander the heavens, taking their own unique spirograph-like patterns,
some people might
making
think of it
both
as good that they're
forward
getting
and
time off
retrograde
work.
motions over and around the Earth
Or they can just
during
hike
their
the
cycles.
tax up.
Meanwhile, the fixed stars were named such because they were observed then, as we can observe today, to stay fixed in their constellation patterns night after night, year after year,
How you doing,
century
Steve?
after
Welcome.
century,
I
never
just
changing
restarted
their
the
relative
stream 'cause,
positions. If Earth was truly a tilting, wobbling,
my
spinning
notifications weren't
space
really
ball,
getting
as
seen.
NASA and modern
So,
astronomy proclaim,
when that
rotating
happens, I just
1,000
restart.
miles per hour
Travels,
on its axis,
Memories vlog, how you
revolving
doing?
67,000 miles per
So when
hour
when
around the
it's not
sun,
going out to anyone,
spiraling
just restart,
500,000 miles per
what's the
hour
point?
around the galaxy,
You know, we're streaming for
and
nearly
shooting
an hour.
off several million
It's only
more
got,
miles
like,
per hour through the
you know, look.
universe. The star patterns would never look the same 2 nights in a row, let alone be fixed in exactly
It
the
only
same
got
constellations for
34
thousands upon
views
thousands of
in
years.
1 hour. Well, not an hour, but
The reality is that the Earth
53
and
over
Polaris
53
do not
minutes.
move, while everything
So it's
else
not
in the
very good, is
heavens
it?
revolves over Earth
It should
and
be doing
around
better than
Polaris, east to west, like in a planetarium dome. Our Earth planetarium, however, is so vast that perspective won't allow
I
any
have people on
observer
if
to
they
see
wanna come
all
on,
the
but
stars
I
simultaneously
don't think I
from
can.
any one vantage point. We can see Polaris, Ursa Major and Minor, and other northern constellations from every point north of the equator simultaneously, but conversely cannot see the so-called South Pole star, Sigma Octantis, the Southern Cross, or other outer constellations simultaneously from every point south of the equator, because they all sweep over a great southern arc from their rise in the evening to their setting in the morning. Facing north, the stars turn counterclockwise from right to left. Facing south, they turn clockwise from left to right. Facing east, they rise in front and set behind, while facing west, they rise behind and set in front. So their apparent motion, angle, and inclination changes depending where you are on Earth and what direction you are facing. But their actual movement is always east to west.
But yeah, I don't know how long I'm keeping. blue, that wouldn't be strange to, yeah. Call them Candy Floss then. Well, we just call them Candy because that's the girl's name, isn't it?
We say this about you, and I think it's important. You make learning missing. You know, it's not that people don't like to be educated, that they don't like to learn.
That's a perceptive point, because that attitude must mean the school didn't train you to embrace needs and adjustment, where once you are trained and be taught to stimulate children to the point we don't think of it that way, but that's what it is. Speaking as an educator, I think a missing component of school is it the teachers? Is it the curriculum? I don't know.
People are bored, and you take these kids with so much energy, and then you make them sit still and watch some person who doesn't really care to be there. Their excitement about
sharing their passion and love for the children was palpable.
Yeah.
And it comes just spilled out of them.
Yeah, it's just so hard for them to even get kids' attentions, though. I think the success of your book, the success of your show, your podcast, and many of these other really intelligent podcasts.
Of that curiosity. And this I brought comes, it's just not obvious. We know this, we've quantified it, we don't like it, but we deal with it. And in the act of dealing with it, you can exploit the civilization. You wouldn't put toast in an oven at 350 degrees to make toasters.
My wife's friend's mom will not eat comes out of my wife's friend's micro dick.
Really?
She quotes that as part of what makes her healthy.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
Up on the surface, the elephants around. But it's a godless city, a cold flat ground.
I've got some pretty crazy ideas about where the universe came from. Just another illusion. Earth became the Matrix, a species of amnesiacs. Try to find out.
Maybe it's the insulin spike that makes you sort of crash.
All right, just a couple of thoughts.
Not sure.
Deeply disturbing. Thoughts, fascinatingly disturbing. If you had a chemistry teacher 50 years ago, dig them out of the earth. That's not where they come from.
I mean,
they
there's fruit
explode,
sugar, but
laying bare their contents. Exploded, scattered their enriched guts across the galaxy, contaminating or enriching water. It's water. What's water made? H2O.
This isn't real.
Here's why.
Being released into your
Actually,
blood.
conic sections of a cone that you cut.
So
We're inside a computer program.
Cause
well, how did you
sugar to
find
be
this out? How did you
deposited
determine this?
into
Well,
your blood,
I had to invent integral and differential
cause
calculus
problems.
to determine this.
I
Kind of
just thought
spooky, actually.
being eating more peanuts, maybe energy from them. Yeah, if it's fat, then obviously fat is a.
Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. And you gotta admit, it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons.
in
Boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility. Yeah. You shut it down now.
It's an illusion.
I'll be back later, dude. Okay.
It's the dome. This is the dome.
Firmament with the 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 firmament.
Meow, 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 meow. What a breath of truth into thinking of people and places I